Hi, welcome to station number 8. Station number 8 has you mixing 2 powders and a liquid. The 2 powders are baking soda, which you might have in your fridge or you use for cooking, and calcium chloride, and you might even have calcium chloride at your house. It's used to melt ice on sidewalks and stuff during the winter. And then we have a liquid. The liquid is red. It's an indicator. It's a powder that when you mix with water, it turns red, but it's called phenol red. And according to your directions, we're going to mix the 2 powders in the bag. Then we're going to fill a cup. In our case, it's just going to be this partial Dixie cup. You're going to fill a cup with some phenol red. And then we're going to mix everything up in the bag and make some observations. First, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the 2 powders in the bag. We're going to make some observations about the dry powder. Then I'm going to set up the phenol red. And then we're going to mix everything together and make observations again. So you're going to have several opportunities to make observations. Okay, so now we have a Ziploc bag. The first thing we're going to do is put each of the powders in corners. Once we do that, we're going to make some observations of just the powders. Then I'm going to mix them up so you can make those observations. And then we're going to set up the phenol red. So let's start first with the calcium chloride. Calcium chloride looks like little white pellets. And we're going to put those in one corner of the bag. We'll even put a few more. So let's start with the observation of the calcium chloride pellets. They're kind of round, but not perfectly round. And they have no fixed size. Some are really tiny and some are much larger. So the calcium chloride is in one corner. Then we're going to move on to the baking soda. And baking soda is just a really fine white powder. Here's the baking soda. It's just a fine white powder. And we're going to put that in this corner over here. So on one side of the bag, we have the baking soda, which is the fine white powder. On this side, we have the calcium chloride pellets. And then your directions say to mix them together. So I'm just going to shake the bag and get everything kind of all mixed together. But even though it's kind of all mixed together, you can still see the calcium chloride pellets and you can still see the fine baking soda powder. All right, so the next direction says to get some phenol red and put it in a cup. So we're just going to use this Dixie cup here, and we're just going to pour some phenol red in. So we've got some phenol red solution that we're going to put inside the bag, and then we're going to seal the bag. We're going to try and get all the air out as much as we can. And then we're going to seal the bag really well. So the bag is all sealed. And then we're going to tip it up so the phenol red pours into, oops, let me move this out of the way. Okay, we're going to tip it up so the phenol red pours into the calcium chloride and the baking soda. So here we go. And then as soon as it pours in, we're going to shake, and immediately the red color goes away and you start to hear a fizzing and you can see gas building up. When I touch the bag, parts of it are really cold and parts of it are really hot. There's 2 different temperature changes going. So my inference would be that one of the chemicals is causing a really warm temperature change, and one of the dry chemicals is causing a really cold temperature change in the presence of the phenol red. Now we're going to let it sit, and if you listen, you can hear the bag fizzing. You can hear the gases fizzing. And you can see the bag filling up with gas. Remember, we got as much air out of it as we could, and now, see, the bag is starting to fill. And the red liquid turned to kind of a, if I mix it up even better, all the red goes away and it becomes kind of a milky yellow color. And now the bag is almost all the way full of gas. All right, so you now have a bag that's full of gas with a milky colored liquid at the bottom. There were temperature changes. These are all observations you can make to help you decide if this was a physical or a chemical change.